I'm 10 Dirty Fingers.
You know that I hate my body. You know that my body hates me. But spite is a migrant seagull. Despite myself, I'm gonna be me. Facts about celebrities are my personality. Drunk on the couch at Thanksgiving. And it's easier than facing the truth. And I wrote a song to make myself cry, but then I forgot the words. And I only ever sing in the shower. I'm afraid that I might be heard. Don't forget that you chose loneliness. And don't forget it didn't choose you. No one thinks that they'll die alone, but then everybody does. And everybody lives that way too. Got my socks and my shoes and my attitude. Running down the street, otherwise nude. You know they sent a team of feds after me. And I'm screaming, nobody with a mortgage can be free. Dumpster diving in my past, searching for something to make it last. I must have been content once. Gotta find that memory. I gotta find that memory. I gotta find that memory soon. Don't forget that you chose loneliness. And don't forget it didn't choose you. No one thinks that they'll die alone, but then everybody does. And everybody lives that way too. Yes, everybody lives that way too. Yeah, cool, thanks. Come on home, Yankee soldiers, come on home. Although you may have no homes of your own. For 250 years, they've used you to spread fear. Don't let them use you for 250 more. Well, they sent away your dads to Vietnam under threat of draft and atomic bomb. But after long defeat, they left them broken in the streets. A generation scarred by a pointless war. So come on home, Yankee soldiers, come on home. Although you may have no homes of your own. For 250 years they've used you to spread fear. Don't let them use you for 250 more. And they sent you to Iraq and Afghanistan. And well, they lied and said you had an exit plan. And they took away your youth. They had you bombing schools. Now they want your kids to do the same. So come on home, Yankee soldiers, come on home. Although you may have no homes of your own. For 250 years, they've used you to spread fear. Don't let them use you for 250 more. And if you stay, Yankee soldiers, if you stay, the oil billionaires get richer while taxpayers pay. And if we were truly free, we'd fight the real enemy, not be killing folks who never did us harm. So come on home, Yankee soldiers, come on home. Although you may have no homes of your own. Although you've been toting guns, it's not too late to run. Don't let them turn you into their death machine. Yeah. So believe it or not, I used to go to church, still do sometimes. I don't know if I believe in God anymore or not, but I do think that our country would be a lot better off if people did what Christianity at least pretends to teach. And I went to a different church the other week, a new church. There's no denomination sign out on the front, nothing out on the marquee except the words, buy in. So I bought in, I went in, paid my cover. There's something off about all the congregants. I had this faraway look in their eyes, and None of them would say a word. And the preacher was dressed all in bright white. When he smiled, his teeth were bright white. They were all filed to a point, and his eyes had no pupils. They were bright white too. And when it came time for the sermon, this is what he said. Well, Jesus needed to get away, so he went down to Bethlehem. And he didn't bring salvation, just a teenage girl and a dreamed up plan. He's got half a face of an old man, half a face as young. An unseeable color is glowing in his eyes and tongue. He's the two-faced king with his head on fire. And if God is love, well, he's also a liar. And Mary raised him working class, but he never forgot his wealth. And he preached to all the lepers, sold them insurance for their health. And he's got half a face of an old man, half a face as young. An unseeable color is glowing in his eyes and tongue. He's the two-faced king with his head on fire. And if God is love, then he's also a liar. When it came time for the collection, the second collection, in fact, the preacher said, "All praise be unto the Most High, one and only, all-American apple pie eating, Republican voting, Chevy or Ford truck driving, white picket fence raising, HOA dues paying, wife beating, queer beating, straight white Jesus." And all the people in the church said, "Amen." Well, heaven's a gated community. St. Peter carries a gun. And the angels formed a neighborhood watch to keep out God's other sons. He's got half a face of an old man, half a face as young. An unseeable color is glowing in his eyes and tongue. He's the two-faced king with his head on fire. And yeah, God is love, but he's also a liar. And Jesus went down to the other place to chat with the landlord there. His hands dripping blood on brimstone, the stench of his burning hair. He's got half a face of an old man, half a face as young. An unseeable color is glowing in his eyes and tongue. He's the two-faced king with his head on fire. And God is love, but he's also a liar. Yeah, God is love, he's also a liar. And all the believers together said, God is love, but he's also a liar. This song I wrote before I found out about my hands, but it kind of has to do with them. Oh, these hands have made you prophet, and these hands have cleaned your stores. These hands were made for love and peace, but you have hardened them for war. Oh, you should not have monetized my kindness and left me only with violence, with 10 dirty fingers clenched and dripping blood. One day these hands will tear you down, down, down. Yeah, one day these hands will tear you down. One day these hands will tear you down. These hands have toiled hours in your empire that they build. These hands are bruised and broken from bearing all your guilt. And you should not have monetized my kindness and left me only with violence, with 10 dirty fingers clenched and dripping blood. But one day these hands will tear you down, down, down. Yeah, one day these hands will tear you down. But one day these hands will tear you down. When every modicum of human decency has been co-opted for profit, rage is all that's left that belongs to me. Oh, the world took everything from me. Did it take everything from you? Let's get together and finally do what we've been plotting to do. Oh, they should not have monetized our kindness and left us only with violence, with 10 billion dirty fingers clenched and dripping blood. One day these hands will tear them down, down, down. Yeah, one day these hands will tear them down. One day these hands will tear them down, down, down. Yeah, one day these hands will tear them down. One day these hands will tear them down. Yeah, one day these hands will tear them down. Pee in a cup and pay your rent. Pray that you don't get sick. Close your eyes, enjoy the taste of every boot that you lick. Cause it's easier to get by than it is to think about how hard it is to get by. And it's okay if you can only keep your head down and survive, but when and if you can, please fight back. Steal from your boss or throw shit at cops. Shoplift a can of paint. Vote or don't, but either way, don't pretend you're a saint. Cause it's easier to get by than it is to think about how hard it is to get by. And it's okay if you can only keep your head down and survive, but when and if you can, please fight back. And all the Wobblies sang together. Are you poor, forlorn, and hungry? Are there lots of things you lack? Is your life made up of misery? Well then dump the bosses off your back. And are your clothes all patched and tattered? Are you living in a shack? Would you have your troubles scattered? Then dump the bosses off your back. Cause if all you need are 3/4 in the truth, they'll leave you with 2 in a lie. Keep settling for less and doing your best for the boss till one day you die. It's easier to get by than it is to think about how hard it is to get by. And it's okay if you can only keep your head down and survive, but when and if you can, please fight back. Oh, when and if you can, please fight back. Yeah, you've gotta fight back. The song's about civic duty. Steal from your boss. Steal as much as you can get away with. Steal from your boss. Take as much as you can carry. Steal from your boss. Steal as much as you can get away with. Steal from your boss. Take as much as you can carry. Your boss is stealing from you. Reclaim as much as you can. Take back your time and labor. Work as little and as slowly as you can. Steal from your boss. Steal as much as you can get away with. Steal from your boss. Take as much as you can carry. Be a model employee. At least when the boss is watching. But when they turn off the cameras, you'd better pocket fucking everything. Cause the boss needs you more than you need them. They only survive by stealing the value of your work. Put the bosses out of business. Steal it all back, steal it all. Steal it all back, steal it all. Steal it all, steal it all. Steal it all, steal it all. Steal from your boss. Steal as much as you can get away with. Steal from your boss. Take as much as you can carry. Steal from your boss. Steal as much as you can get away with. Steal from your boss. Take as much as you can carry. Steal it all back, steal it all. Steal it all back, steal it all. Steal it all, steal it all. Steal it all, steal it all.
Yeah. We could do a yelly song, or we could do a more yelly song.
Let's see if I can remember the lyrics to this one. I've washed dishes for the bosses. I made coffee for the rich. I'll labor for the wealthy, but I'll never be their bitch. And I've worked all through the night. I've worked all through the day. And they can tell me what I have to do, but never what not to say. And they don't have to let us unionize or negotiate for better pay. But when they're begging the poor for mercy, we'll laugh and say, no way. And they can spread out my scheduled hours, stretch me thin but still part-time. They can have this battered body, I won't let them have my mind. And they don't have to give me benefits or pay me a living wage, cause one day their burning fortunes will light a brighter age. And they don't have to let us unionize or negotiate for better pay. But when they're begging the poor for mercy, we'll laugh and say, no way. And this would be a really awesome time for a bitchin' guitar solo, but there's not really a budget for that. So instead, all we're gonna do is just go right into the next verse. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And they can lobby to the government to let them burn us at both ends. But no corporate XX profits will be worth the poor's revenge. The time is quickly coming. We won't take it anymore. We're gonna torch those corporate offices and barricade the doors. And they don't have to let us unionize or negotiate for better pay. But when they're begging the poor for mercy, we'll laugh and say, no way!
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like the main cattail is I've always wanted to see a Florida panther. That's one of my favorite animals, and I've lived here my whole life. I lived out in the woods for most of my life, and the closest I ever got was seeing like a paw print. And I've never, they don't usually come this far north anyway, right? But they've started to come back. They need continuous corridors of wilderness. But I was working on a dig in Titusville, and one of the rangers said that he saw a panther sign, and he showed me it was a paw, and that was radical. But I've never seen one out in the wild, just a couple caged ones, which is sad. I've always wanted to see a Florida panther. To me, they just represent everything that I wish I was.
Yeah. Endangered.
Well, aren't we all?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Lonely and dangerous.
I'm trying to give permission for people to say the things that they've been feeling, maybe didn't have the words for it because we aren't taught the words for it, because everything from birth, we're programmed to think that this is the way things are supposed to be. The world is supposed to be set up this way. You're supposed to go get a job, work for somebody else. If you're lucky, own something and have somebody working for you, retire and die, and people suffer and you either don't see it, or if you're the suffering person, it's your fault. And it's not how it's supposed to be. It's not how it has to be. So I'm just trying to give people permission, the way that I was given permission, to not think it's okay. And maybe one day we'll actually be ready to do it, do something about it. And actually 100 years ago, things were very similar to how things are now. The difference was the labor movement was a lot more organized, and it was bloody, it was horrible, and a lot of people died, but there were some victories made for workers. God damn it. But the millionaires became billionaires, and now it's workers versus billionaires, and there's a lot less of a labor movement now. Kind of tells you who learned from the last century's battles and who didn't, because we don't control education either. But this song's kind of about that. It's kind of about getting by.